GSL Season 2.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL Season 2 Round of 12 Group A. We have returned here with the final series of the broadcast. It's been an intense back and forth so far. We had Kira advancing on in first place out of the group earlier over SHIN, and we just had SOS eliminated from the group as the first player out of GSL. And now we have a final decider match here between ByuN and SHIN. This is a rematch. SHIN did take down ByuN earlier 2-0, but now it's time to see if ByuN can get his revenge. He already got his revenge against SOS earlier, as SOS did defeat ByuN in the qualifiers, but now we'll see if he can bring it back versus SHIN. Let's go. Let's go. We have our two players ready for us here. And again, we'll see if ByuN can bring it back. SHIN, of course, has been excelling as of late when it comes to his TVZ, when it comes to his TVZ prowess, when it comes to his Roach heavy play, when it comes to his 2-base lair tech as well. He was unable to showcase that against Kira. Kira was hyper aggressive and hyper assertive. I'm still a little bit disappointed that the casters didn't actually ask Kira about his thoughts on SHIN's ZvT and on his approach, but I'm sure ByuN was watching, I'm sure he was looking, I'm sure ByuN is inspired. So we should be seeing a much more aggressive ByuN here this time versus SHIN to try to punish SHIN and break him early before Hive Tech. That should be the goal. That should be the goal here for ByuN, but we'll see. We shall see. Likewise, shout out to Maddox, of course. Maddox has been translating the interviews, and there should be a winner's interview after this series once it does conclude. We'll do our best to actually showcase said audio and said winner's interview as well. Do our best. We'll do our best. As for now, we are setting up. We're going to be setting up here. It looks like our players need a moment to conduct their vetoes and to get everything going. That's why we have a caster cam here at the moment. But again, it's been an intense back and forth so far. Intense day of StarCraft, I should say. We've been seeing a lot of what we expected when it comes to our players, when it comes to our builds of choice. SOS did at least surprise me when it came to his reapproach against ByuN, and that did lead to a much more dynamic series, of course. But in the end, ByuN was able to break him. And here we go. We have our vetoes completed. Vetoes are done. Game 1, White Rabbits. Game 2, Title Citadel. And Game 3, Mothership. A very different veto process. Okay. So first things first, SHIN vetoes the standard maps. SHIN vetoes 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, Tourmaline. If you remember, SHIN had the same vetoes against Cure. What do these vetoes mean? SHIN doesn't want his opponent to be hyper aggressive. 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, Tourmaline, those three maps favor aggression, they favor all-ins, and they favor Terran players typically in TVZ. So those are the standard Zerg vetoes. When it comes to ByuN, it goes to the Celestial, Old Republic, and Winter Madness. I'm surprised you over. Yeah, makes sense. Celestial is a little bit more extreme, so is Old Republic. I'm surprised that ByuN vetoed Winter Madness and let Mothership through. I feel like Mothership is considered more Zerg friendly. I'm curious what the plan is for that map as we're loading into our first series. Let's go. Spawning in the right hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the blue Terran player. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, going for the proxy hatch, it is a SHIN, a red Zerg. Here we go. And again, this is very standard when it comes to SHIN. SHIN has yet to showcase this build and this opener in tonight's broadcast. That is true, but the plan here is to hatch block. The plan is not to go for an all-in, is not to rush. The goal is to delay and disrupt the build of ByuN, but ByuN is already setting up for 2x Reaper. So this is an interesting setup here so far. We'll see if SHIN can force the boys to be pulled down onto the low ground. As we get a bit of delay here on the initial racks. Second SCV comes down. Oh, and SHIN is actually expanding back at home. Never mind. So no hatch block. He will delay somewhat. He will disrupt somewhat, but only by a couple of seconds here. He will not hatch block. As SHIN did expand back at home. There's that 2x Reaper. It is a slightly delayed 2x Reaper. But otherwise, nonetheless. Is going to be a hatch gas pool follow-up here for earlier link speed, and SHIN can turn this into an all-in, by the way. SHIN with early link speed will keep an eye on the gas income. If he gets more than just link speed, he might go for a Roach Warren and go for a Roach all-in or a Bane Bust. Both are viable against ByuN's build. The reasoning why all-ins are viable here is because ByuN's production is going to be exposed, right? Typically the production's in the main and it's safe in the main, but here because it's on the low ground, it means that if you can break the natural, you can break the production as well. So there's just even more dedicated to that low ground and even more to punish as a result of that. As there's that delayed hatch block. Okay. I didn't think that SHIN would still go for it this late. This will at least keep the Reapers busy, or at least it should. No, ByuN, he ignores it. Okay. So ByuN, he moves out across the map with his Reapers. He does want to still keep that aggression up. He's forcing response out of SHIN. SHIN, he has enough gas for link speed. Link speed is on the way. ByuN just expands next to the hatchery. And SHIN, I believe, pulls out. Yeah, he does. Okay, SHIN, he pulls out of gas. So no Bane Bust, no Roach Rush. Because of this response, the hatchery will finish across the map, or at least it can. We'll see if SHIN lets it finish. Then he can start to make links behind the wall of ByuN and try to disrupt the build. Try to disrupt. The hatchery is spreading creep, is delaying at least. Lings are moving out. The Ooh, does get focused down. SHIN will be supply blocked. Yeah, big supply block for SHIN. A lair is on the way. That's a 3:34 lair timing. So very early lair. And I'll be honest, I don't really think this hatchery was worth it. Just because, I mean, the CC wasn't really delayed too much. And mining is disrupted, but this is a big investment. Yeah, it's a big investment here. I'm not convinced. Even now making... I think there's a mistake. I mean, they can be cancelled, I suppose, but... Yeah. So I would say a bit of a shaky early game here by SHIN. Shake. Shake. Behind this, SHIN again going into his gases, getting into his own really fast lair, very fast lair at 3:35, into his Roach Horn, into Roach Tech, into Roach Play, and we'll see if he can survive the early game. Right now, ByuN has momentum. ByuN went for a 3x. Oh my god, he went for a 3x follow-up. Oh my god, ByuN's being hyper aggressive here, and that was our takeaway from Cure series, if you recall, and that's what we said coming into this series, is that ByuN is going to be more aggressive than previously. It's going to be hyper aggressive to break SHIN early on to make sure he does not get away with Hive Tech. That's the goal. That is the new approach that ByuN has. And we'll see if it works out. Roach production has begun. There's going to be 4 roaches popping out. Sorry, there's soon to be 9 roaches. 4 roaches currently. With good enough unit control here, ByuN may overwhelm. He's holding onto that stim. He's holding onto it. Trying to bait the army out. Isn't able to. And ByuN, he doesn't want to risk getting surrounded, so he doesn't risk pushing in. I do think he could have, but again, he doesn't see what we see. So ByuN plays it safe. He pulls away and should be hitting his later timing. So he's going to be pushing with +1 and with medevacs. So ByuN, he races back home and going for a later timing attack instead. I mean, he did force out 17 roaches out of SHIN. Oh my god. It's a lot of roaches, which could have been drones. So SHIN has a weaker mid game as a result of that. It's in favor of a larger army. He's going to make use of the supply. He has to start trading. Otherwise, it was just a waste. The Marines are on their own. SHIN can trade. He can try to. We stim in. Yeah, ByuN stims on board. He has a massive amount of Marines. Breaks through the Lings, and he's getting into all the roaches as well. He will kill every single roach here. SHIN will lose everything. So again, there's just so much bio here. I mentioned that Shin should like be trading, but there's a difference between trading and just committing everything, just sending it. As Shin will lose every single roach, and again, in the end, it wasn't quite worth it. It just wasn't worth it. Better trade to ByuN. ByuN breaks out. Shin now regretting that he lost all his roaches, as now he has nothing to defend. He has to rebuild the roaches and infestors, which means that eats into his worker count even further. Now, these infestors, if they pop out in time, they will allow Shin to defend, right? One good fungal means he holds. But he needs that infestor, he needs that fungal. Infestors are still on the way. ByuN sims in, he gives chase, he commits in, he gets 1, 2, 3, 4 roaches, massive pickoffs. Bio does not connect, and the infestor's not out in time. Yeah, now we can fungal, but too late. Yeah, too late. Oh, the chain fungal, okay, it's chain fungals. Shin holds. As you mentioned, just barely holds on with those fungals. Again, if the infestors were available earlier, then it would have been a cleaner defense, but they were just a little bit too late. But Shin does survive. And remember, the soup is lying to you, right? The soup is in favor of Shin, but that's only because he has roaches. Roaches are very inefficient units. They're very supply heavy. Just bear that in mind. As ByuN is now claiming his third, or at least finishing up his CC. Now, I will say though that with that drop being dealt with, or that push being cleaned up, Shin is stabilizing. Like, he's on the road to stabilizing here, on the road to slowing down the game. Remember, what is Shin's win condition? Hive tech. It's to just defend until hive tech. Can he do it? Hive has begun. The timer has begun. Timer is on. You can see that on the production tab, Hive has started. Ooh, as Shin bleeds out 1, 2 Ravagers. Some heavy losses for Shin. And ByuN is pushing. And as we mentioned before, like ByuN's win condition is kill Shin before Hive. Like, kill it before Hive tech. The Hive started. ByuN pushing in towards a third. Their Artifest is ready. You can see this time ByuN does pre-split. Oh. Has to be careful. The army is somewhat clumped. Yeah, it does split, does spread. Minimizes fungal. Dropping into the main base, going for +2, will deny. And Shin is just being torn apart, losing another expansion as well. Aye. Denying +2. Knocking down the third, dropping into the fourth base. Critical economic damage here, getting 8 drone kills. But the Hive is finishing. It is important to take that in mind, to bear that in mind, is that the Hive is completing. And the Ultra Hive is going to be thrown down. ByuN still has to break through. Does take a fungal to the face. The Biles. Oh my god, the Biles are connecting. And can Shin hold on until Ultras? You can see Shin shaking his head on cams as well. Like, he knows, like, it's not looking good. Hasn't been for a while. As this game has been heavily in favor of ByuN. Knocking down 3 more roaches. GG gets called. ByuN does pull more parts, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. ByuN does take a lead in the series, and this is where I'm gonna start saying here that this style that Shin used to great effect against Maru in GSL is being figured out. I say being figured out. I mean, shout to Cure. Like, ByuN clearly had no idea. Like, but Cure, he paved the way. He paved the way for ByuN to be able to stand his ground here. What was Cure's approach, once again, was just hyper aggression. Was just being hyper aggressive and not letting Shin breathe. And you can see ByuN looking at Cure and being like, oh, that's pretty good. Like, okay, I'll do that. And Shin's being punished. Shin's being punished time and time again. Shin, he needs breathing room. He needs his opponent to back the hell off. But now the Terrans know. Now they know, papi. Now they know. And we'll see if Shin can bring something different to the table here as we load into Title Citadel. We're loading in. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Green Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, as he's getting 2 racks. It is SHIN. And here we go. ByuN, he moves out with 1. He moves out with 2. And so far, he moves out with only 2 SCVs. It's going to be a Proxy 2 racks. Proxy 2 racks bunker rush here. If you recall, this is how Cure was able to defeat SHIN in the previous series. I say how I was able to. To be fair, Cure did go for a 3 racks. Here, this time, only 2. And to be fair, SHIN did survive that and did actually win that game. But, you know, Cure, he evolved it in the series. Maybe a better way of putting it. Here, ByuN only with 2, though. And ideally, ByuN wants SHIN to overreact. To over-respond. Or, yeah, to give up on low ground. Now, remember, how did SHIN respond to Cure's proxy? Well, SHIN went to 1 base. He went 1 base Nidus, and he was able to kill Cure across the map. But here it's less committed, less aggressive, and ByuN has a faster transition. This is not all in. I need to emphasize that. Proxy 2 racks is a macro build. It's not all in. As ByuN is building up his Marines. Bunker's going to be on the way. I just realized SHIN, his overlord's out of position. Usually SHIN, he has the second overlord outside of his natural, but it's not here. Yeah, SHIN, his second overlord is out of position here, so late scout, late recognition, late reaction here by SHIN. Now he knows, but this is late. And yeah, he's overreacting. This is what ByuN wanted. So remember, what did SHIN do against Cure? Against Proxy 3 racks? It was this. It was, and now he has to pull the boys. Yeah, now he has to pull the boys. Now he realizes only 2 SCVs. He has to fight for his natural. He kind of lose it. And the bunker's almost done. Oh no, does it finish? It finishes! The bunker completes. Slings are going down, drones are going down as well. Massive losses here. Even the repair out of ByuN keeping it alive a little bit longer. And these are heavy losses for SHIN. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN, he doesn't get surrounded, not yet. Oh, now he gets locked down. But that's 7 drones. Oh boy. Yeah, 7 drone kills. As ByuN does kite back, trading well against the Zerglings. 2 lings left. Down to 0. Yeah, with that, ByuN, he does critical damage here. SHIN, he does hold on to his natural, thankfully. And ByuN is transitioning back. And remember, this is not an all-in. Like, ByuN is going for his factory, going for his follow-up. ByuN does turn back around. He wants the Overlord. And you can see SHIN hands off the keyboard. Like, he knows. He lost too much. Ay, ay, ay. Hands off the keyboard, baby. So basically, SHIN was mind gamed. SHIN's initial response and his initial reaction, 1, the Overlord was out of position, so he failed to scout early on, but 2, he went for a 3 racks response, not a 2 racks response. That's why you can see SHIN cancel the Roach Warren. Like you don't go roaches, you don't sacrifice your natural base against proxy 2 racks, you do it against 3 racks. So SHIN, he gambled incorrectly, now he had to cancel, restructure his build, had to pull the boys, lost a bunch of workers, and now SHIN is behind. Oh, as ByuN wants the queen. He shouldn't get it though. Yeah, Lings are about just in time. Whew. SHIN does save the queen. You can see ByuN rescouts looking for the Roach Warren. There is none. It's going to be a 2-1-1 follow-up here by ByuN. I guess a 1-1-1 follow-up. And again, SHIN, I was going to get into this earlier, but like the games that just popped off one after the other. But SHIN, he was the runner-up. He was last season's runner-up here in GSL, and for SHIN not to make it out of the round of 12, it would be brutal. It'd be brutal from one season to the other. But as we mentioned, just really unlucky that SHIN ended up with both Cure and ByuN in the group. Out of all players. I mean, ByuN less so, more so Cure, right? Like Cure, he was able to have a very strong handle on SHIN. And as I mentioned before, like Cure, he ran so that ByuN could walk, right? Like he Cure, he showed ByuN the light. He's like, Papi, just be hyper aggressive. He's like, okay, let's go. Just be in the face. Always in the face. As ByuN does open up Viking first into Cloak Banshee. Massing up his Hellions, moving out. I believe that is 8 Hellions. Yep, 8 Hellions for ByuN. That's a lot of Hellions here. SHIN is droning, and can SHIN hold on against this? It's a lot of Hellions. He's got 16 Lings, depending on how they line up. That'll depend on, I mean, that will affect whether or not he can hold on to his mineral line. As here comes ByuN, he's going for the dive. Lings are in position. Nice split. Nice spread here from SHIN. Avoids the splash damage. Despite that, still bleeds out some drones. Still bleeds out a couple of workers. And what's important here is that from our initial Hellion opener, if we can preserve them, we can go for a later sim timing with Hellbats. The Banshee does weave its way into the natural. Spores in position. We do have an early Baneliness behind this into Spire Tech. Okay, we're going into meters. SHIN trying to take up into meter tech. SHIN does need more time. So far unscattered, and we spoke about this before, but unscattered meters can win you the game. Straight up. Win you the game. They can pop off. Hellions, they rotate over. They get 1 drone so far. Spire's almost complete. At the same time, though, ByuN's getting ready for his own push. I believe... Is there a 3rd CC for ByuN? I don't think there is. I could be mistaken, though. I wasn't paying too much attention to the main. Yeah, no 3rd CC. So 2 base all in. ByuN's going for a 2 base all in. Mutas will not save SHIN. They'll hurt him more than anything. You have 8 mutas on the way. And SHIN needs to buy time. Meanwhile, this is just a straight up 2 base all in out of ByuN. He doesn't pull the boys, though. Doesn't pull the boys. Are there enough mutas to overwhelm the Marines, though? It comes down to the Banelings. It comes down to the ground army. Ling Bane needs to connect. Ling Bane needs to get past the Hellions, more importantly. Hellions, looks like one of them goes down. 2. 1. Okay, 1 Hellion falls. 10 Banelings on the way. They're going to be slow Banes. ByuN commits in. And again, ByuN, he's committed. Oh, he gets caught. Yeah, ByuN's getting caught out. He has to end the game with this push. The longer this goes on, the better it is for SHIN. SHIN is buying time. He's buying more time, distracting ByuN. The longer this goes on, again, ByuN running out of time. He turns around. Ooh, he turns around, and SHIN is looking to force the ace match. He's looking to force it here. As ByuN gets caught, bleeding out more and more Marines. He does trade with the mutas at least. But SHIN has a greater economy. And ByuN missed it. He missed his 2 base all in. He missed the timing. He missed it, Bappy. And SHIN is snowballing out of control. Double Evo Chamber, another expansion, 4th base. Oof, catching up more Hellions. Ay, ay, ay. And ByuN has nothing. He has nothing here. Now there is potential with the double drop. Like at this point, ByuN is desperate. He's desperate for damage. The desperation out of ByuN. Now there is a world where if SHIN overextends, if he throws away these mutas, then maybe ByuN can still snowball out of control. But now bathing speed is complete. And 1-1 is on the way. Like ByuN, he's got to make this work. Okay, so far so good. He gets across the map, mutas out of position. Oh no! Oh my god. Takes the baiting to the face. That was a brutal baiting connection. And we're going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade here. SHIN, he pushes across the map. We do have a full wall. ByuN commits with the main army, and it comes down to the Banelings. There are still Banelings in the main. It's all or nothing. This is it. Here come the Banelings. There's so many. There's so many Banelings. Hellions, they have to engage ahead of time. Oh no. Yeah, Bailey's, they smash on in. We force around, and with that, ByuN will lose everything. GG gets called, and SHIN ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match. Again, ByuN had such a good start. He had such a good start to the game, and he was building up into the 2-base all in. He didn't know that he was against 2-base Muta, though. That was a big issue. If he had known, there would have been more urgency for ByuN, because ByuN, he had to go. He had to send it then and there. And for ByuN to end up stopping, for him to stutter there and for him to back off, I mean, that was game. That was game. Like, the longer the game went on, as seconds went by, it was just better and better for SHIN. It was just better and better for SHIN. ByuN had to commit. It looks like ByuN is asking for a break. He's asking for a break. Understandable. Like, that was ByuN's game. That was, like, ByuN had such a good start. That was ByuN's game to lose. And ByuN needs a moment there. That was his game. So GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match. We're going to take a moment here. Again, SHIN, he barely clutched it out. It was so risky going to mutas. So risky. Fortunate that SHIN was able to hide the Spire and make sure that ByuN didn't know what was going on. So ByuN, again, if ByuN had known what was happening, he probably pulls the boys. He pulls the boys, and he just commits and goes across the map as quickly as possible then and there. And he probably breaks the expansion. He breaks through the Bailings and gets into the third base. But in the end, GG. GG. Just catching up. Missed 3.5 hours. One of the VODs available. VOD should be available instantly on Soup, if not already on Soup. But VODs are going to be available on Soup, of course. They're available on other platforms 48 hours later. So 48 hours later is when they're going to be available on YouTube. Just as a reminder. Otherwise, Onomas, one more game left. Onomas, papi, Onomas. As we are just going to be opening up. And again, as we mentioned earlier, our players, they did ask for a couple of moments here, a couple of minutes here to just gather their thoughts, to kind of take it all in. Again, this is the final game. This is the final game of the series. When it comes to our players so far, when it comes to how ByuN's been approaching this, again, it's been non-stop aggression, even all-ins here from ByuN. And there's been potential here, and I feel like... is it going to work on Mothership, though? Like, it's rough. We're loading into a very large map. We're loading into Mothership. All-ins can work here, but the early game has to go very well for you. I'm not entirely convinced. We'll see how ByuN will approach this. We'll see how SHIN will approach it as well. I want to see some safe play out of SHIN. Early Roach Warren, early Roaches into like a fake all-in, into like a stable early to mid-game. We'll see. Players are getting ready. ByuN a little bit frustrated. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran. For Shopify, it is ByuN. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg. It is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. 3-player spawn map here, so there is some RNG when it comes to finding your opponent early on. As a result of that, we often do see a lot of greed. We see a lot of greed here on Mothership, so the idea of SHIN going gasless makes sense. Likewise, ByuN, does he go CC first? It looks like that may be the plan. No, never mind. Does go for the Rax expand. Rax into gas into just standard opener. SHIN likewise hatch first. So far, everything's looking normal. Again, in my mind, there's a very high chance that SHIN skips his gases. It's very common here on Mothership, but we'll see. Likewise, we're expecting aggression out of ByuN. It's quite difficult to play a longer or later game on Mothership. In ZvT, the reasoning for this is because your fringe bases are very spread out and they're very open. So as a Terran player, trying to maintain a fifth and a sixth base is very, very difficult in the late game. And based off of ByuN's previous experiences as well, I'm sure he wants to avoid that later game. I mean, that's why we've seen nothing but aggression so far this series. ByuN does get a CC. Let's get his command center. Likewise, we do have our initial opener by a SHIN. Does not go gasless, true. Doesn't play gasless. Hatch gas pool at a SHIN. From here we can get link speed, and really what we're looking for here is a continued gas mining. We want to see, does SHIN mine gas or not? And the answer is yes. Oh wait, no. He's still getting into link speed. So eyes is on SHIN. Reaver does break in. SHIN pulls away. So far, good control. Saves the drone. And keeps up. Meanwhile, you can see the gas income there for SHIN, and he's still staying in. So link speed is being taken, but he still does leave one drone in gas. Meanwhile, ByuN going 3cc. Ooh, okay. Something that he did not make at all last game, but he's going for a third command center into a 3cc 2-1-1. Okay, it does allow ByuN to be somewhat aggressive here, but it's going to be later aggression. So delayed aggression by ByuN. Going for a later, like 5:30, 6-minute stim timing. Wait. Hold on. That's the third Rax. Okay, interesting. So this is not a 3cc 2-on-1, it's a 3cc 3 Rax. Interesting. So this does mean that on the one hand, yes, stim is going to be delayed. That is true. It's going to be later stim, but it is going to hit with more bio than usual. And if this goes unscouted, this will surprise SHIN, because a 3 Rax follow-up is very unusual. It's not very orthodox. So the quantity of bio here is going to be greater than normal, and again, if SHIN underreacts, then he can get caught off guard and he can be overwhelmed. So cheeky build here by ByuN. Very cheeky. Second, ByuN's building up his army. Scan? Yeah, ByuN, he's messing up a little bit here. So you would never scan the main base. That was meant to be a mule, so ByuN, he misclicked. We gotta look in, Pappy. We gotta look in. It has been a long day. It's been a long day. It's been a very long... It's been the longest GSL broadcast we've had in the group stage of this year, of 2026. It's been a long day, and ByuN may be a little bit fatigued as a result of that. And Hey did ask for the break earlier. So that doesn't bode well. Doesn't bode well. It goes down. We have our 1-1 upgrades on the way for ByuN. Still building up his bio. Of course, SHIN, he did scout the massive amount of Marines. That is a tell of something. That's a tell of a 2-on-1. So that he has not confirmed the third Rax yet. SHIN going into muta play. Ooh, okay. It's going into mutas, and once again, we need ByuN to scout this, and we need him to punish this. Once again, if mutas go unscouted, then SHIN can overwhelm. Wings are punished. SHIN does misjudge. Bathing speed is being prioritized. We have earlier 1-1 timing here for ByuN. Armory's on the way for 2-2. But it still comes down to whether or not ByuN is ready for the mutas. Because there's a world where the mutas hit the field and ByuN hasn't pushed yet. Here, okay, here we go. It's go time. It is go time. This is hitting at... Oh. This is hitting at 6:30. So again, 3cc 2-on-1s hit around 6 minutes. This is hitting much later. No, ByuN's not pushing. Oof. ByuN's only going for drop play. Yeah, that means that SHIN gets away with it. No shot. SHIN gets away with the mutas. The Spire finishes. Mutas are on the way. There's only light aggression out of ByuN, which means the mutas should be fine. Or SHIN should be fine. As he needs very little to defend, mutas are revealed, and we hunt down the medevacs. Yeah, medevacs are being hunted down. That's a full medevac going down. Massive pickoff. We got the second medevac as well. Oof. Yeah, heavy losses there for ByuN, and ByuN's aggression has now ended. Despite the fact that he went for a 3x follow-up, he will miss his timing, he will miss his window. Now he has to turtle. Now he's just stuck turtling up back at home. ByuN, he has lost map control, now he's forced into a longer game, and he never wanted to be here. Decent mine connection. Decent mine shots. But now ByuN is contained. Oh, the bailings! Jesus. Decent mine connection. Very nice target firing out of ByuN. Very nicely done here. He shuts down the bailings. Sold control. SHIN does overextend. And ByuN is holding his own. He's holding his own here. Defensively. Bear that in mind. Like, even though that was a better fight for ByuN, ByuN is still stuck at home. Nice stab of the Widow Mine. Widow Mine goes down. SHIN does threaten another dive. Oh, we'll take one shot to the face. It does take one to the face. More mutas are amassing. And SHIN will be the first to max out, of course. Will be the first to max out. SHIN shouldn't commit to a main fight. He should be just purely harassing up until ByuN tries to take a fourth base, and then SHIN can start to commit. But until then, purely harassment. Purely run buys. SHIN is up to 93 workers. So our music just keeping him busy. They're keeping him busy. We have Morling Bane amassing this entire time. SHIN is not maxed. SHIN is maxed out. ByuN does have a decent force to break out with. That is true. He's got a massive amount of Marines and Widow Mines, but as he breaks out, SHIN can move in. Now, thankfully, ByuN, he does have reinforcements back at home. He does keep them there. SHIN moves in. Oh, massive mine connections. ByuN holds. And now here comes a fourth base. Like, this is the big moment here for ByuN, is maintaining that fourth. I mentioned at the start of this series, or sorry, at the start of this game, that on Mothership is quite difficult for the Terran player to maintain a 5-base setup. Oh, massive mine shots to the face. Oh my god, SHIN does take every mine to the face. But your 5 aces are very spread out here as a Terran player, which is not getting a fourth. Nice Thor fully. Lings, they come in from behind. The mine shot goes off. And one Bailing kind of gets in, kind of. You just hit the fourth. Okay, it's empty. Fourth base is empty. Takes down the turrets. Behind this should be taking up in towards Ultras. Marines, they almost get the surround. Hive is on the way. ByuN is defended well. He's defended well to build up this army. SHIN collapsing on more medevacs, so better fight for SHIN. Oof. King's double drop. And ByuN, do we just send it? Does he just send it, Pappy? He's thinking about it. Only a double drop. Only a double drop here. Yeah, Lings don't get much done. ByuN defends well. He defends well. Muta's looking for another way in. He's looking back. Now going for the Ultra Cavern. That is SHIN's win condition, is just survive until Ultras. And buy enough time until Ultras as well. But I'm pretty sure ByuN should be pushing before that happens. I would imagine so. My shot's going up. Ducklings, they collapse in the mineral line. No major damage though. ByuN defends well. Mutas, they don't really get much done in the main base either. Now, what this is doing though, even though Shin's not really doing much damage, is that he's buying time. The Ultra Cabinet is now done. Ultra upgrades are on the way. Shin is almost at Ultra Tech. He's almost there. But he still needs more time. ByuN's pushing. Finally. He breaks out. Pushing towards the bases. Shin is out of position. Nice defense out of ByuN. Knocks down the hatchery. And Shin, he does surround with the Lings. Nice surround on the Marauders. Marauders are surrounded. Bailey's they roll in towards the Marines. Can we split? Oh my god. Yeah, brutal bailing connections. He takes him to the face, and ByuN, he'll lose everything. Oh my god. Takes all the bailings to the face. With that Shin, he cleans up the army. ByuN, he plummets in supply. And that's all that ByuN had. Yeah, that's all he had in him. The one maxed out push. Shin's nobly out of control. He's remaxing with what? With Ultras this time. The Ultras are coming. The Ultras are coming. As ByuN, he's time to rebuild his army and to build back up. Shin take full advantage of that. Oh, very nice mine shots. Nice mine connections. Same time, that's going to be 17 SCVs. Oh my god, 17 SCVs. Gets a full mineral line. Mineral line goes down. Mutas, they pull away. And again, ByuN is back stuck at home again. And this time, there are Ultras to punish. The Ultras have arrived. Oh. Bailings, they eventually clean up the drop. Ultras, they reveal themselves. They reveal themselves back. Shin does roll in. ByuN, he doesn't have to slide to defend. The planetary will fall. There's no saving the planetary. And this is the kind of game state that ByuN wanted to avoid, is the late game with ByuN being contained and with Shin having full map control. Right? Like this is where Shin thrives. With those Ultras just knocking down base after base, and specifically on Mothership as well, these bases are very spread out. They're very spread out. So this is where Terrans do typically struggle. On Mothership. Shin does collapse in. Let's try to at least. He's at the Widow Mines. It's still only 2 Ultras, so it's a very low Ultra count here. Oh, the mine shots. Oh my god, massive mine shots. And Liming tries to collapse in. Mutas are a little bit late, and we're just running through more mines. The Widow Mines, oh my god. Again, we just run through every single Widow Mine, and ByuN trades very well. He trades well. Shin, he just A-moved through everything. Like, Shin overextends. ByuN is able to counterattack. ByuN, hey, he's fighting back. Better fight for ByuN. Better engage. ByuN's now breaking out now. He's able to counterattack. Took the better fights. Pushing out. Very Marauder heavy. Very Marauder heavy. As there are no infestors either, true. No infestors, no spellcasters. Nice and counter-attack here in the middle line, catching in some SCVs. ByuN forced all the way back home. He's forced back home. As Mutas should not kill the CC. ByuN defends. ByuN defends well. Again, he still can't keep up with all the aggression. Oh my god. Again, that's one of the most important mining bases here for ByuN. On the crucial mining bases, he can't hold on. 10 more CV kills. And SHIN still has the lead. Like, he still has momentum, has had some really rough fights, some really bad fights even. But because of SHIN's economy, he can sustain it. He can sustain these losses, sustain these worst trades. He can still power on through. Even here, we'll lose an Ultra, but hey, he cleans up the Marines. Cleans up the medevacs. And now we roll in. Now we're rolling in. Bailey's into Marauders. Not ideal, but hey, it's going to be good enough. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will overwhelm. He'll claim the series 2-1. And SHIN, he will advance on into the round of 8 of GSL Season 2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SHIN will take it again. A very intense back and forth. I'm still thinking about game 2, right? I'm still thinking about game 2 where ByuN had a massive lead and ByuN went for the 2-base all in, and ByuN, he missed his window. He missed his window in game 2. That was, and if you even remember, and I hope they asked SHIN this in the winners interview. They better. SHIN, he put his hands off the keyboard in game 2 because of how much damage was dealt. SHIN was dead. Like he was in a very rough position. Hands off the keyboard, pappy. Like that's how dire it was. And then he was able to, hey, he went into 2-base muta. He was able to rally, bring it all the way back. Of course, ByuN was not aware. ByuN, he misses window, misses timing. I hope that they ask him a little bit about some of that, but we'll see as we're about to have our winners interview. Un momento.
Really understand the math of it. And second, when you did that play specifically versus ByuN, when you already had 2 barracks, it seemed really late. Do you think you got the value out of that in game 1?
일단 신이범 선수 8강 진출 축하드리고요. 두 가지 파트로 첫 번째 질문 좀 두 가지 파트로 좀 나눠서 질문드리고 싶은데 이제 테란전에서 전진부화장을 좀 많이 쓰시기 때문에 좀 전진부화장 담겨진 좀 생각이라든지 그 좀 개념을 좀 더 좀 알고 싶고요. 그리고 두 번째는 이제 변현 선수를 상대로 했을 때 굉장히 좀 늦은 타이밍에 또 전진 부화장을 또 시도를 하셨기 때문에 좀 그 부분에서도 좀 궁금하네요. 그 신이범 선수의 어떤 마인드가 어떤 개념이 있었는지.
어떤 개념이라기보다 그냥 막 한 건데 사실 연습 때 안 해본 상황이고 그냥 한번 뭔가 그때 부화장을 지으면은 테란이 좀 당황해가지고 제대로 자원을 좀 묵히지 않을까라고 생각을 했는데 전혀 당황을 안 하고 그 위에다가 바로 사령부 지으면서 플레이하는 모습 때문에 거기서 좀 말렸고 엄청 불리하게 시작을 해가지고 아 이제 2, 3세트는 하지 말아야겠다라고 생각했습니다.
Yeah, I want to say about the proxy hatch versus ByuN specifically because it was actually an impulsive decision because it was a situation that I didn't really face. So that late proxy hatch I was just try to startle the opponent and make him just distracted. But he wasn't distracted at all. So I was the only one who got in disarray. So I think that actually made me not to do it on the later games.
You almost won GSL Season 1. Do you think you can do it in Season 2? And if so, what do you need to do in your play or in your mindset in order to do that?
I mean,
사실
This isn't a bad question considering what happened last season. It's not a bad question. It's more relevant here.
이제 우승을 좀 놓치셨잖아요. 그래서 시즌 2에서는 좀 우승하기 위해서 좀 어떤 노력을 좀 하실지 궁금합니다.
어떻게 보면은 스스로에 대한 자신감이 좀 없었던 것 같아요. 뭔가 내가 결승전 가서 김준호를 만나겠지라고 생각을 했으면은 좀 토스전도 준비를 하고 그리고 이제 스스로
ZvT.
뭔가 기본기를 좀 더
I
다졌을
agree.
텐데 그냥 오로지 조성주 전만을 조금 바라본 것 같아가지고 그래서 아마 이번에도 만약에 4강에 간다면은 그때는 저 자신을 믿고 좀 결승전까지 준비를 하고 가야 될 것 같다고 생각을 했습니다.
So what I regret the most in the last finals is actually my lack of faith in myself. Because if I have prepared for the finals opponent against Hero, then I would have actually prepared a lot more than what I actually did.
Okay.
But that being said, I was so focused on beating Maru in that semifinal, so I didn't really prepare much on the finals opponent. So I will take that lesson in my hand, and if I get to the next semifinals, I would go further, I will see further, and prepare for all the situations as possible.
Congratulations again on your win, and best of luck in the next phase of the tournament.
네, 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
All right, guys, another amazing.
GG, well played. As that does wrap up our coverage here of today's broadcast. Un momento as I quickly try to fix this up again. Beautiful. There we go. There we go. GG, well played with that. SHIN, he'll advance alongside Cure to make it through into Group A. Sorry, into the round of 8. I do wish that they asked SHIN about Game 2 versus ByuN, just because, again, SHIN, it was disastrous. It was a disastrous game there for SHIN. For him to be able to recover and to bounce back, it looks like they asked him more about the proxy hatch stuff, which I think, unfortunately, that's like... it sounds like maybe State is maybe a little bit unfamiliar with the builds and with the style and with what with SHIN's tendencies, because SHIN does often mix that in. Looks like he was asked about it against ByuN and how SHIN it was like reactive, and specifically, if you remember, he spoke about how he doesn't encounter that situation too often. Specifically, it's attempted to proxy hatch against 2x Reaper. Like, that was the situation he was talking about. But regardless, we're going to be wrapping up here for the time being, and we'll be back next time. We'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of the GSL round of 12 Group B. Group B here is going to be coming up in less than 24 hours time. We'll be here to cover it once again. Now, I do apologize for maybe being a little bit less energetic here today. For those who don't know, I did lose my voice like yesterday. Yesterday I was mid casting Kung Fu Cup, and we actually had to end the broadcast mid finals because I straight up just lost my voice. Like, I just so I've been trying to recover. I've been resting and not speaking and trying to to be in decent shape for GSL, and we made it through GSL, but you heard me earlier, I failed to mute, but I've still been like coughing a little bit, and I'm still not 100%. I'm still like on the cusp of losing it. So because of that, we're going to be rescheduling a bunch of our casts. We're going to be slowing things down this week to 1 cast a day, just to make sure that we're okay for the rest of the week, because we have a lot of casting to do, right? We have RSL, we have GSL, we have a lot to do, so we're going to try to move everything around to make sure that we're okay, that we don't, overwork ourselves or overstrain ourselves, at least until we fully recover, then back onto like full-time, back-to-back twice-a-day casting. And until then, we're gonna take it a little bit easy, because I did lose my voice yesterday, so that's it. Again, it was just a brutal weekend with the GSL finals. It was a brutal weekend. With that, though, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up here. Again, if you want to support the GSL, you can do so via Patreon. Patreon is the place to be to help fund and support GSL for the upcoming Season 3. We're almost there. We've almost fully funded a 3rd season of GSL. Do consider supporting as we wrap up for the time being. You can have a look here at our patrons. The code S and Plus on Soup. I see Kronos. Este Kronos. C'est Clement. What else do I see? Yo, these are patron supporters. Let's go. Manifesting good posture. I love him. He's great. Beautiful. But with that, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow.